This wasn't even the issue that I was here for, but I'm glad that I noticed it. I heard it in the background, and the homeowner was grateful too. Okay, so I'm at a Burnham Alpine. I already have the power shut down, but we're replacing the blower motor on this unit, and I am going over it with our new hire. So should be pretty smooth because I've done a bunch of these now, but we got the part and we diagnosed it yesterday, so I've been running in a reasonable amount of time, hopefully. Okay, so I pulled the unit apart and our swirl plate is disintegrating completely. This can't be used. This has to be replaced, so I'm gonna let the customer know. So I show him that it's disintegrating completely, and he sees it and he touches it and it disintegrates even more. And I'm like, we have to replace this. Give him the price and he goes, oh, you have to do a better price. And I was like, no, there's no, we do a better price. That's our price. And he was like, do you have the part? And I was like, of course. And yeah, it's annoying. You have to do better price. Like, no, that's the price. So, as always, I was super upfront with this customer in pricing in regards to the blower motor replacement. Oftentimes with these boilers, you take things apart and you see that other things are failing because the system hasn't been maintained properly. And I told him that, a blower replacement is expected to take, within an hour. But if we need to replace other components due to lack of proper maintenance, then it's going to take longer and components will be an additional expense. He did sign up for a maintenance agreement, which gives him a 13.5% discount off of everything, the labor, the materials, and no trip charge to show up. So he had saved, over $300 between when I diagnosed the blower and then this morning, the next day, when I was able to get the blower installed. And he's still trying to figure out a way to try to save every last penny. And I was just like, absolutely not. And then yesterday evening, when I diagnosed it, his wife had come in and was like, she was overhearing that, we'd have to get the part. It's far away, it's close to my house, but I'll grab it tonight or tomorrow morning and put it in first thing in the morning. It's only going to be, 16 hours without heat, and it's not freezing out, so. But then the wife came in and was like, well, what are we going to do without heat? And I was like, it's, these things happen. You could get space heaters. And she was like, space heaters? But I have a kid. Why can't we do this right now? And I was like, well, we have a schedule. We have other customers that have called us. And it's unfortunate, but they're also in the same situation that you're in. We can't just drop all of these other customers who we may be able to fix then and there to go out of the way, make an hour trip to get the part, wait at the supply house for 30 minutes, and then make an hour trip back to the job, and then spend an hour installing it. That's 3.5 hours that we took off of other possible jobs and service agreement customers who have priority service and that use us regularly. And it was like dealing with little kids. Like, they just wanted it right now, and they didn't understand why things break and that things happen on a boiler that's over or just at 10 years old, and it's being serviced by some company that couldn't fix it to begin with, and that's why we were there. So whatever, it's just aggravating dealing with people like that. And we got our new blower in. It did just turn on, so we're already past where we were before, as well as the swirl plates in there, and cleaned off the flame sensor igniter. And I would like to also replace this sensor, but he has to approve of that first. So I wired our existing sensor to see what happens. If the runs. You know, I'll let them know that it ran, but I still recommend replacing it. Because you should always replace this old sensor. They make a new one now with a different style connection because this one always goes bad. But now we'll do a combustion test once we get the system up and running. If he wants them, yeah, we can leave them. So yeah, if everything's in good condition, then it's simple to do. It's once you need to start replacing parts and cleaning things out that it takes a long time. We're running right now with our sensor plugged in. See what happens as it comes up to temperature. We're going to do a combustion analysis and just the unit information. System's up and running now. We are close to temperature. Our rate is dropping. The unit's all like crooked, like someone dented it here and it's lopsided so it wiggles. But we did low fire combustion analysis and high fire. At first on our high fire, our CO was like in the 180-ish. Brought that down to 74 and brought our oxygen and our CO2 to where they need to be. Same for our low fire. And these guys didn't do that. Okay, so now we're headed off to the next, which is a Rheem call in Hicksville. At the stop sign, I was there already. I diagnosed a bad power board because the power board was tripping, but our elements are okay, so it shouldn't be tripping. So we're gonna go put that in. She supposedly has gotten the part from Rheem. At the stop sign, it's actually been onto Hungry Harbor Road. I was there on I think Thursday, and it's Tuesday. So kind of took a while. Usually they're a little bit quicker with sending their parts, but maybe the customer was just busy. So here's the unit. Here's the board that we'll be replacing, and it's behind here. So we'll get this off and swap it out. And there it is. Just a few electrical connections to undo. Pop it out and pop the new one in. And the new board is in with our insulation in place. We could just mount this back up and power it on. And we're headed to the next now, which is another Rheem call in Roslyn. And then after that, I have a combi boiler that I can't record. Okay, so I hooked up a manometer to test our incoming gas pressure. And we have around 7. But when the boiler runs, we drop down to I believe 3.6 or 4, which is too low for this unit. It needs a minimum of 6, and that's while it's running, not while it's standing. Our burner is completely carbonized, so.
Comes in at 1 inch over there.
So the boiler is also not having enough gas. It's burning here, and this burner is not even running. Or is it? No, it is running, but it should not be burning inside the tubing. The end result of this call was that the gas utility company needs to come out and make sure that the meter is okay, because the gas piping coming into the boiler room is good. It's 1.25 inches, and it's only at most 10-foot run of piping. So they need to either fix the meter or upgrade the meter based off of all the appliances they have throughout the house. And Rheem is honoring the warranty on the heater and actually replacing that carbonized burner assembly for them because of the fact that it carbonized so quickly. They said that regardless, it shouldn't have carbonized, within the 1 month that they used it. I kind of disagree, but they wanted to cover it, so that's good for the homeowner because now they won't have to pay for our visit there the first time. They won't have to pay for the part that Rheem's going to send to them, and they won't have to pay for our time to put that part in, as well as hopefully they won't have to pay the gas company to resolve whatever their issue is with the incoming gas. So we finished up there. We're headed now to, I think, our 4th call of the day, and I can't record it because it's a combi boiler that I can't record, but hopefully it's an easy fix. It's 11:51 a.m. So we left that combi boiler. It's 10 years old. It's in awful condition. She doesn't want to put any money into repairs, so I gave her some options, and we're going to see what happens. She's a retired police officer.
Turn right.
And she really wanted Mikey pipes, so I was just a big disappointment. She's very nice. I'm going to head back to the office and see what else we can get done. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. We hung out at the shop for a little bit. I went over House Call Pro with another new hire. His name's Peter. Fortunately, Duff didn't make it very long, but he came to like an agreement with Mike. He wasn't just like fired. He was like, yeah, this type of job isn't what's for me. So it is what it is. But yeah, I am headed home. I just finally fixed that turn signal. The plug in the back of the light, I think it was just that it wasn't popped in properly. But since I had took the whole thing apart anyway, I put new bulbs in. Because I was like, I'm not taking this all apart again in a week if the bulb goes out. So I just put new bulbs in. Now, if I do my turn signal, you don't hear that sound. But hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. Like the video if you liked it. Comment any advice or criticisms or feedback. And subscribe. Thanks for watching.